All right, let me just run back through the question, right? So the diagram below shows the graph of a straight line passing through the points A and B, right? So this is the line here, A. What are the coordinates of A? A is what? Here, as long as zoom in, 0 on the x-axis and 7 on the y, right? Everybody knows how to plot these points? 0, right? We did it last week. I just going back to it because it had part C to do. Right, 0 on the x and 7 on the y. Everybody good there? Okay, look, the coordinates written here. A is 0, comma 7. B is 2 on the x and 0 on the y. Everybody knows how to identify that coordinate. Everybody good there? Ronaldo, you good there? You're good? Right? Newcomer, you good? Right, so that's the coordinates. I think that was part A. No, that wasn't part A. Right, so the equation of the line above is y is equal to mx plus c. State the value of c. So from last week, I told you all that c is the y-intercept. That notice above, okay? C is the y-intercept, or where the line cuts the y-axis. Which axis is the y-axis again? Horizontal or vertical? Vertical, right? So at what point is this line cutting the y-axis? It's at this point here, which is 7. 7 on the y-axis. Your y-intercept is the y value where the line is cutting through the y-axis. Everybody clear there? 7. Everybody see the 7, right? Now the 7 is not written, but it's counting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Everybody's clear? Crystal clear? Right, Tristan, China coming. Right. So I've seen this question here, but I think this was part 2, determine the value of M, yes. So what is doing down here? All right, this was M here. M was the gradient, right? So they want the value of M, which is the gradient of the line. I don't know why down here. See if I can put it right here. Okay? Right. So you had your coordinate from above here, your coordinates, which would have been A and B, right? Now your x1 would be, what's your x1 here? What's your y1? What's your x2? And your y2 is? Your formula for gradient of a line is? Over. Okay, you know this formula, right? This is a gradient formula, right? So you're taking this x1 and y1, don't let the little baby one, the subscript 1 and the subscript 1 here, subscript 2, don't let that tie up. This just means the x value from the first coordinate, the y value from the first coordinate. The x value from the second coordinate, the y value from the second coordinate. Everybody good there? Right, clear? Right. Y2 is 0, Y1 is 7. Plug it in, you get negative 7 over 2. That is my gradient. Once you're dealing with gradient, I told you all to leave your gradient as a, right, Yuvraj? Okay, right, so we go in. This was the only homework you all had, and I did it like that because I think a lot of you all had exams this week, right? So let me go. Determine the coordinates of the midpoint of the line segment AB, right? Nobody did my homework, so I want you all to do this now, right? The line segment AB, we had 2 coordinates on the line. So the first coordinate was, let's see if I get some fire here. This thing that's had a reset. Right. So A, right, so A would have been 0, 7, remember, right? So 0, 7, and B would have been 2, 0, and Keegan? Yes, sir. Right. So belt out my formula for the midpoint of a line. Midpoint is in the middle of the 2 points, right? The line segment AB, the middle point would be, what's the formula? Hitman. Over 2, nice. X1 plus X2 over 2, comma, Y1 plus Y2 over 2, right? So those who didn't do my homework, which is looking like everybody, please do this question quickly, right? I'm going to put my little x1 and y1 above here, right? That too. So this is x1, this is y1, right? This is x2, this is y2. Cool? And you just plug in. So plug in quick. I get only 30 seconds to do that. No more than 30 seconds. Right. Let's go. Plug it in, right? It meant was x1. 0 plus 2 over, comma,
7 plus 0 over 2.
Proper thing on there. Proper thing. There we go. Right. So this will be equal to, now, we're working it out one time. 0 plus 2 is 2 divided by 2 is, right? Everybody good there? 7 plus 0 is 7 divided by 2 would be 3.5 or 3.5, however you want to put it, right? I put 3.5. Okay, everybody good there? That is the midpoint, capital M, right? Tristan, talk to me. Good there?
Yes, sir.
Niceness. Right. So the point -2 comma k lies on this line, the line above. Determine the value of k. Okay. So there we go. -2 comma something lies on this line, right? So what we need is the equation of the line. We plug in the value of x and we'll be able to find the value of y, right? Did we find the equation of the line anywhere here? No, but we have c and we have m. Everybody agrees?
Yes.
You all seen it there?
Yes.
We have c and we have m. So let's write out the equation for the line AB. So watch it. That's the first thing I'm going to do here, right? So I'm just going to put equation of line AB. Okay? So that will be y is equal to m. M was -7 over 2, proper thing. Mx plus c. What was c? 7. Everybody good there? -7 over 2x plus 7. This is the equation of the line. Y is equal to mx plus c. Tattoo. I sent a video of last week's class in the group, but I don't think it was in the group yet. Here what? I forwarded it to your number, right? Forwarding it directly to you, and you can check it out, right? It have all the explanations from last week, everything. I want to send it now before I forget. I think you are the only person here that wasn't in class last week. So I'll forward it to you. Right. So that link is last week's class. So you can check it out when you reach them, right? And I'll send the at the end of this class, I'll send the worksheet also. So you can check it out. Right, there we go. So this is how you find the value of x or y given the equation of your line. So let me look at the coordinate they give us there. What is the x value from that coordinate? Anybody? We're looking at the coordinate. What is the x value from that coordinate? So x is equal to -2. Everybody good there? Y is equal to, boom. Talk to me, Yuvraj. You good there?
Yeah.
Everybody good there, right? So watch it. Follow space. We have x, we have y. Y is key, right? They want us to find the value of key. Let's substitute these values into the equation. Okay? So substitute values into equation. Right? So we go in. Y is k. So I'm putting k. I'm not putting y, right? I'm putting k. Everybody with me there? Instead of y, I put k. Everybody good? Everybody see that? Is equal to -7 over 2. Instead of x, what do I put? What's the value of x?
-2.
Boom. Everybody with me? Yuvraj, talk to me. You here?
Yeah.
Right. Plus 7. So So somebody go and punch it in the calculator, -7 over 2 multiplied by -2, and tell me what you get. If somebody could do it without punching it in, you can go ahead. Yeah, I don't see now. No, that's like the 2's cancel now. 2 into 2. So that's +7. Tell me for again, +7. +7. I ain't no lunch break. There's lunch here. 7 plus 7 is?
14.
Now we're talking about. Those who have to write. Okay, so we have determined the coordinates of the point of intersection of the line y is equal to x minus 2. And the line shown above, the equation of the first line was y is equal to -7 over 2x plus 7. This is equation 1. And the second equation is y is equal to x minus 2. This is equation 2, right? So to find the coordinates of the point of intersection. Now, does everyone know what the word intersection means? The crossing, right? Intersection means crossing, right? My children. Everybody good there? Right. The crossing. So to find the coordinates of the point where they are crossing, right? I put in crossing in brackets here. Crossing, right? Crossing or cutting or whatever you want to use, right? Cutting. Right? So to find the coordinates of the point of intersection, which is like where they cross or cut, crossing or cutting, we solve. What we do here, Yuvraj, we solve the two equations.
Okay.
Nice. Simultaneously. Right? So we go and work some simultaneous equations here, you all. We could use elimination, we could use substitution. I'll use substitution because y is equal to this, y is equal to this. So what you're going to do, hold on, eh? Are you ready? Let's look. So I'm going to substitute equation 2 into equation 1. Substitute equation 2 into equation 1, right? So look at what this means. What is the value of y in equation 2? Y is equal to this here, right? X minus 2. So you see this here, Nia? You see this? This x minus 2, this is going to take the place of y here, right? So instead of putting y, I'm putting x minus 2. It's like I'm taking the x minus 2 and I'm putting it in place of y here. So watch how I'm going to work here, Egan. Watch it there. Watch what it becomes. Instead of y, what did I just say we put it instead of y?
X minus 2.
Boom. X minus 2 will be equal to whatever was on that side, right? Which is -7 over 2x plus 7. Everybody good there? I took the value of y. Y is equal to x minus 2, and I replaced y in equation 1 with x minus 2. Right? That we understand in this? You did simultaneous equations in school already? All right, good. Right. So the whole mission of a simultaneous equation is to find the value of x and find the value of y. Everybody good there? I'm going to say it again. The mission here is to find the value of x and find the value of y. So let me start to fling things around now. What are we moving here? What are we moving here, Keegan? I want to get all the x's on one side. Right, Izzy? Yeah. So I'm carrying this here. And I'm going to move this -2 here. Cool? So this will become x plus 7 over 2x is equal to 7. This 7 didn't go anywhere. So I'm going to put back that 7. 7? All right. Proper thing. Dr. Mayuvraj. So this is 1x, right? So somebody do 1 plus 7 over 2 and 10 more again. 9 over 2, yeah. That's correct. So if you work it out on a calculator, if you don't want to work it out, using long methods, 1 plus 7 over 2 will be 9 over 2x. And 7 plus 2 is? Everybody good here? Now, if you want to find x, what are we doing? Dr. Man.
Both sides by 9 over 2.
Yeah, right. Divide both sides by 9 over 2, or what I'd say is this is 9 over 2 multiplied by x, right? So if I carry 9 over 2 on this side, what do? You do the opposite of multiply, which is to divide. So some teachers teach it like how he is saying it, and some teachers say whatever you do on one side, you do the opposite on the next. I just teach it the opposite. Most teachers just do what they were taught. That's how I learn it, right? Let me put another different color. Multiplication is understood here, right? Multiply. I come in right here. So x will be equal to 9 divided by 9 over 2. X will be equal to a half. Well, again, a half. Okay, I have to flip that 9 over 2 and multiply. So the 9 over 2's cancel. No, it's 2. Yeah, 2. Right? Tristan, you're holding that head like, what is man talking about, boy? Where you get lost? Hey, you have videos now, doggy? Right? Go home, watch over the videos, eh? Yeah, my bro? Right. But what's the mission here? We need to find the value of x and the value of we only do half of what we need to do, right? So we found x. X is 2. Who can tell me how we find it? I'm moving this highlight here.
You substitute the x value that you just started to the
Proper thing. Proper thing. Proper thing. Right. So he said it, right? You need to take that value of x, substitute it into actually any one of these equations, 1 or 2, and you will find the corresponding value of y. I'm going to use the easier one. I'm not going to use this all this fraction and thing here, right? So, oh, good. I don't know space here. What's going on? That's right, guys. All right. So I'm going to substitute the value x equals to 2 into equation 2, right? So equation 2 was y is equal to x minus 2, right? So if x is 2, it'll be 2 minus 2. Ronaldo, you keep it up here? Y is equal to, which is 0. That's all you get chance to write there. So determine the coordinates of the point of intersection of the line y is equal to x minus 2 and the line above. So the point of intersection for these two lines would be 2, 0. Right? So therefore, we have 2, 0. Point of intersection. Right? Okay? Now I need all to ask all the questions. Tristan, ask a question. 2025, number 4. June 2025, number 4. So let's analyze the question, right? The graph below shows the straight line PQ. So it's a line PQ. So let me check out this graph, right? The P, right? So you're seeing P down here and Q up here, okay? Tristan, P down here, Q up here, right? Liam, you seen this? All right, let me go. Let me see what the question asks. Let me see what CXC wants us to do, right? Look at this kind of food thing CXC giving people now, boy. But it's only 1 mark though. So if we want the gradient of the line PQ, we need to be able to identify what PQ is, well, the coordinates of PQ, and identify what the coordinates of Q are. So there we go. I need pen, ink. Right, so P. Oh God. That's so light, right? It's that. Right. So P would be, so we're scrolling up, right? Which value first? When you listen our coordinate? Proper thing. Right? So there we go. That you know that, right? X value is always first. Okay? I give a test for my form 2s. For an term exam, and about half the class put the Y value first. And I say, but why really teaching my? Right? X value first. Let's look at P. What is the X value that lines up with P? I want everybody to see it. Everybody see that? -2, comma, what's the value that lines up with Y? Proper thing. Everybody good there? Who's not seen that? Raise your hand online. Mr. Emmanuel, you seen that?
Yes, sir, yes.
All right, good. So there we go. We go now. So -2, comma, -3. Oh, you gotta wait for me to write it in now. -2. You see that, Mr. Tristan? -2, comma, -3. Right? We're gonna look for Q. Yeah, you? Not me, you. Right, let go. We're scrolling back up. Everybody good here? Scrolling up, Q. Coordinates of Q. Which value first? X. Please stick that in all the header. X value first. What's my X value that lines up with Q? 3, comma. 7. This is CSEC given this, not me, So if it's easy, don't get vexed with me, I don't think anybody should be vexed at it easy. Let go. 3, comma, what? 7. Right. What's X1? I'm going to put my little X1, my little Y1. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. Everybody good there? Belt out my formula for gradient of a line, please, somebody. Minus Y1
over X2 minus X1.
X. Everybody good there? Yes. I love it. There we go. Come on, they're supposed to be eating up that right now. But it's just 1 mark though. Just 1 mark. So here what like when I see 1 mark question here, like these things we train for this thing from now, When you see 1 mark questions like this, don't waste too much time on it, So all right, M is equal to what is? I would add as Y2. Which one is Y2? 7 minus what? -3 over what? 3 minus 2. -2. Right, so let's give me the answer. We're not going to work out the top, then work out the bottom, then divide it. Give me the answer straight. 2 flat. Somebody second that 2. Yes. Everybody good here? So you just get a whole mark in CXD there. Get yourself a pat on the back. Hey, I used to do that, though. Everything I used to do when I was in CXD, I was been telling all of that. I used to do the same thing. I say, well done, kid. Right. Write down the equation of the line through PQ in this form, right? Now, we big and we have sense, right? We don't need to go and now we can use the formula that I gave you all last day, right? Or you could just find the gradient and we could probably look at the graph and find the y-intercept, which is C, right? So note, right? So that's, what kind of small thing is this for you? Wait. Right. So note, remember M is your gradient. That too, you remember what gradient is? When I throw wrong the word gradient, what am I talking about? Now we talk about, but you come here, bright girl. Right, C. What C is? Y-intercept. Right? This is where the line is cutting the y-axis, where the line cuts the y-axis. Okay? That is what your y-intercept is. If you could identify those two things, we don't have to use the formula to find the form. But just out of curiosity, What's the formula to find the form? Who remember? Y minus y1 is equal to, open brackets, x minus, you work it down, you'll get y is equal to mx plus c. But we don't need to do that here because I guess we could just look at the graph and find c because we don't have m. And m is 2? M is 2, right? So I'm scrolling up, eh? Everybody have my red? Everybody have my red, right? Scrolling up. Now, it's kind of hard to gauge here, boy. We got to use it, you know? Even though it's looking like it's negative a half. You all see that? I don't want to second guess it. So we got to use the formula. Everybody see why, right? Wait. I watching the x-axis. I watching the wrong axis. I was watching here, right? So it clearly passing through 1, right? So my y-intercept is? So let me work. Let us work. I was watching the wrong axis. Right. So my equation will be y is equal to m, which is 2x plus c, which is 1, right? So m is equal to 2, c is equal to 1. You plug it into this formula. Wham! 1 mark in the bag. CSEC giving me marks here, no? That is food, you know? Honestly, you do like me and you probably watch the wrong axis. Did I get wrong, you know? Is here that I get wrong, you know? I watch the x-axis, wrong axis. Everybody understand the concept of y-intercept? Talk to me. Right, you want to see it? Right, so watch it. Intersecting the y-axis would be at this point because this is your y-axis. When I roll up, I look at the x-axis. That's how I see that. I'm not sure if it's negative a half. But it's here is 1. You see partial 1? So C is 1. Liam, Matra online. Push
Yes, sir.
Right, you with my Matra?
Yes, sir, I am right here.
All right.
I know.
Just all when all home, you know. All right, all in front of my face.
Hey, sir, it's not my fault. I'm on tired right now. She tired.
All right, no problem. Next week. Well, not next week, Friday. I don't know. Nobody don't come here Sunday. I not here Sunday. You see, last time I seen here Sunday until next September, sorry. Right, functions. So this question done. So earlier we done, there's only 2 marks by for this whole paper, by. So what the next part is functions. We're not doing functions. I want to cover all the coordinate geometry questions. So head up June 2024. June 2024. So you all realize that trend here? Which number is coordinate geometry? Number 4 in all the past papers, right? So there we go. This is probably the part of coordinate geometry that we do the least, which is the length of a line. Who can remember the formula for length of a line segment? All right, and it's in red. That's all. I'm going to just head it up and then I'll belt it out for me. Length. How it going to this now? Right, length of a line. Write it down, Tristan. Length of a line segment. Hey, as rainfall, this thing is not a very cold. Right, there we go. Somebody give me the formula, please.
Square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared.
All right, Emmanuel, now, big up yourself now. y2 minus y1 squared. Now, these are formulas that CSEC do not give you. You hear me that too? Had to learn this, huh? Keegan, write it about 10 times. I make my son write out formulas like he mad. Right? Hear me, Z? Write it about 10 times. Yeah, start to write like a mad. Right, there you go. So what's going on here? A rectangle PQRS has a diagonal PR where P is this coordinate and R is this coordinate. Find the length of PR. So let me write a little X1 and Y1 above here. So this is X1, this is Y1. Everybody agrees? Yes. And this here, I write it underneath. This is X2, this is Y2. Come on, let's work. Let's work. So length Find my length, please. Length of PR. Right, let's work. Come on, belt it out. What you put here? 4 minus squared plus proper thing. Right? Now here I can do, you see everything underneath that square root, work it out. So that's give me one number. All again. Negative 5. I get manual say 245.
Yeah, I get the square root of 245. I get square root of 7, and then that is 49, and then the square root of negative 14, and I add it up, and I get 245, and just find the square root of that.
All right, you're right. So he's saying when he add it up, he get only get 245, right? You get a right. Square root of 245 as well. So 2 decimal places, 50. Sorry, 15. 15.65. Everybody get there? We second that. Now we put units, because it's a length. It has put units because we don't know if it's centimeters, meters, we don't know what it is, right? That's what you're not getting us?
Unless the question specifically states.
Unless it states, right? Everybody good there? Right. 15.65 units, 2 marks in the bag. Well, let's see how easy it is to get marks in CSEC, right? For this next question now, they want you to determine the equation of the line, right? Now, in order to determine the equation of the line, we need to have the gradient of the line, and we need to have a coordinate on the line. So we'll just use, what was the first coordinate? Negative 3, 10. Negative 3, 10. Right? This was your x1, this was your y1. Everybody good there? We need to find the gradient. Okay? We have our 2 coordinates. What's P? Everybody have it written down? It was negative 3, 10. And what is R? 4, negative 4. Right? So, let's work. Give me more formula. Y2 minus Mr. Ronaldo. You know what common M signifies? Gradient. I see you watching it. Right? I'm trying to find the gradient. But you know why? Because I want to write it in the form y is equal to mx plus c Ronaldo. This is your gradient. Right? And this here is your, remember what c is? It is a constant here, but what does it represent? I hear somebody else saying it. Y-intercept. Guys, we gotta internalize these things, you know. Y-intercept. Right? Okay, we need to internalize these things, and I wanna. Right. So we go in. Let's find our gradient. Call it out for me. Gradient is equal to. I put my little x1 here, my little y1, my little x2, my little y2. Right? Go.
Negative 4 minus s and
Over.
4 minus negative 3.
So my gradient is what?
Negative 47,
Negative 2. Everybody good there? How many people got negative 2? Raise your hand if you got negative 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? Online, raise your hand. Emmanuel alone gets it online? Emmanuel, Terry, Singh, Makeda, Liam Matra. We're going on with Shania, Miriam, Tristan. All right, this is my gradient. What's the formula to find my form? This is my formula to express the form for equation of a line, right? Okay, I just want to make sure it's clear, right? So let me go. What is the formula? y minus is equal to.
And open brackets x.
So once you memorize this formula, you are solid. There's no way you could not know how to express the form for the equation of a line, right? So your y1 and your x1 will be these two coordinates here. It will be a pair of coordinates on a line. Cool? So there we go. Y minus, what is y1? Is equal to, what is m? Open brackets, x minus negative 3, right? A negative and a negative is a boom, right? So let's remember this is plus 3, right? So let's work. We multiply this negative 2 by and negative 2 by positive 3, eh? Let's remember that. I'm flinging this negative 10 there one time. Cool? Right? So let's work. Y is equal to negative 2x. Negative 2 by positive 3 would be minus 6. And negative 10 becomes, ooh, this is what we're talking about. Right? Simplify further.
Is equal to 6x plus 4.
Talk to me. Somebody second this. Talk to me. Negative 6 plus 10 is 4. You cannot add negative 2. Okay, that here, you're low for some reason. You're something real low.
Because I write them up on.
All right. Everybody good here? Mr. Ronaldo, you good here? Ronaldo, you need to go over these videos when you reach home, eh? Think deep, eh? Right, so we on to June 2022, as I said. Okay? Watch what the first part of the question asks us to do. Let's work. Okay? So the y-intercept in this question is clear. Let me see if we can identify 2 points on the line. It could be any 2 points, any 2 coordinates, right? So let me just I working with look, this is our clear coordinate here. What is this? What's the coordinate of this point? 3, comma. That's 1 coordinate. All I want to work with the y-intercept to. What is this coordinate here? 0. Please do not make that mistake, eh?
Even when you reach the vertical line before the y-intercept. Point before the y-intercept.
What?
Even when you reach the point before the
Anyone?
y-intercept.
Anyone you could go. They could go just to look the x-intercept is negative 3, comma 0. Any two coordinates we go with, you will get the same equation. Right? So let me work. We must find the gradient. Come on, all. Find a gradient now, man. Find a gradient. I'm giving all you 1. All right, let you go. Now, all you know don't matter which one you call x1, which one you call y1, you go and get the same answer, right? It don't matter. You could call this coordinate underneath here x1, x1, y1, that coordinate above there x2, y2, or vice versa, and you get the same answer. Right, that too? Ronaldo. What's no formula for gradient on my line, Ronaldo? I want to hear Ronaldo. That we talk about. Common M represents nice. Ronaldo, I feel you have to find a way to come down here on Friday, no, brother? I don't trust you when you're home, boy. Find a way, boy. Tell mommy, boy, I go travel or some kind of thing, yes? Pick me up when I'm done. Right, so y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, right? That's probably formula. Give me my numbers now. It don't matter the order. 1 take away 2 over 0 take away 3. If you do the next two are wrong, you'll just get you will get a positive one to a positive underneath. In this case, no. When I say do have a correct way, like it don't matter if you call this x1 y1 and then this y x2 y2 or vice versa. If you call here x2 y2 and you call here x1 y1, you'll get the same answer. All right, so there we go. What this will be? Negative 1 over negative 3, which will be positive 1 over 3. Everybody good there? Gradient. Therefore, we don't need to go and use no formula to find no form because we had the y-intercept. And so it'll be y is equal to 1/3 x plus 1. Boom. Boom. Write that down. Quick. Right, let's see what this question is requesting. The equation of a different line. They clearly said it's a different line, right? is, well, Q is y is equal to negative 2x plus 8. Everybody good there? This is a different line. Let me ask that question. What's the gradient of this different line? Is the same gradient? You sure? What's the equation? Thank you, Izzy. Nobody saw that negative 2 is the equation of this line? Y is equal to, and where this line cutting the y-axis by? Come on, all here. Come on. Izzy alone see that? You know? So let me go. The equation of a different line, y is equal to mx plus c, right? Write down the coordinates of the point where Q crosses the x-axis. Understand the difference here. They ask me for the x-intercept, right? Now what's something? Pan note. Note, red up. Red pen. Come you, Raj. We ain't sticking here today. We will stick when CXC done. Note. Right? So the coordinates, or not the coordinates. To find, so the x-intercept is simply where the line cuts the x-axis, right? We substitute y is equal to 0 because on the x-axis, y is equal to 0 into the equation of the line. So anywhere, all you go and hear this loud and clear when all you're watching over the video, right? Anywhere on that x-axis, y is equal to 0. At any point on that x-axis, right, Keegan?
Yes.
At any point. Izzy, Mia, any point on that x-axis. Cool? So, I'm just going on. So, y is equal to 0, right? So, I'm just going to put when y is equal to 0. Let's substitute it into this equation to get the x-axis, right? So, 0, what happened y for? 0 replaced y. So 0 is equal to negative 2x plus 8. So I want to find x. What do you think is the first thing I should move here? We want to find x. So we want to leave x alone on the right side, okay? So what I need to move here first, the 2 or the 8? Positive 8. When positive 8 goes to the left, so 0 minus 8 will be negative 8. Everybody agrees? Right? Is equal to negative 2x. What we do next? Anybody? What we moving next? Negative 2 going to the left, and we do the opposite of multiply. Right? You hear me, Tristan? Remember, multiplication is understood between this negative 2 and this x. Multiplication. Right? Push it. Multiplication. So the opposite of multiply is to? Let's go. So I put another line here, I'll go down your side here. So it'll be negative 8 divided by negative 2. The negative 2 doesn't change to positive 2, guys? And this will be equal to x. Negative 8 divided by negative 2 would be positive 4 is equal to x. This here will be my x-intercept. Okay? Or they want the coordinates, right? So they said write down the coordinates of the point where Q crosses the x-axis. So what my coordinates will be? Therefore, my coordinates will be what? What's the x value? What's the y value? Boom. I just learn a little think a little bit now. So these here, once I say coordinates, my children, once I say coordinates, I'm talking about an x value and a y value. So when you write it on a coordinate, you're not just putting x is equal to 4. You have to put the x and y. So write on this quickly. All right, there you go. So I just see over everything I just said, right? For the benefit of the video. Right, so they asked us to write down the coordinates of the point where Q crosses the y-axis, right? So where Q crosses the y-axis, x will be equal to 0. We have it written in red here. Okay, so x will be equal to 0. We need to substitute 0 into the equation of the line in order to find the y value. So let's look. So y will be equal to, this is the equation up here, guys. Y will be equal to -2 by plus, boom. Anything multiplied by 0 is? So 0 plus 8 is? Let's go. So y is equal to 8, but they asked us to write down the coordinates. So what are my coordinates here?
8,
Proper thing. The real come out for them today, boy. All the graph paper, I thought we would not need it, but we need it, boy. Pull out graph paper there, man. Right? Right, so we're going to recreate this graph, and then we're going to draw the line, okay? So we're scrolling up. So what's the scale here for this graph? 1 centimeter to 1 unit, right? You could try to draw it just like this. Don't draw more than it have, okay? Draw it just like this. And you're putting L also, eh? Right, so let's see what the question is asking us for, right? On the grid, on page 14, draw the graph of the line Q. So we're going to deal with Q. But then we have points on the line Q here. We have the x-intercept and we have the y-intercept. Let's plot these 2 points, right? I'm going to write it higher up next to the arm graph. So we're plotting these 2 points, right? Which is 4, 0. That's one coordinate on Q. And the next coordinate is 0, 8. Are correct there? Right? Let's plot those points, draw a line through those 2 points, right? So I go and plot it too. So 4, 0 is 4 on the x, 0 on the y, so that's here. Everybody agrees? And then 8 on the, 0 on the x, 8 on the y, so that's quite up here. Yeah. Right, so let me pull a line now. Right, let me go. I'm going to draw the line first and then I will expand it. Oh, you don't see what the let's see what the intercept is. Yeah. Clear as day. Yeah. So this line is Q. Everybody agrees? Y meters Q and L. Sto. No, it's low. Low. Talk to me. I was close. Sto low. You get this? You sure, brother? Yeah. All right. Everybody get there? QL. Right? That's what? 1 mark for that way? The wicked way. Yeah. You enjoy it?
Yeah, right.
Where you are right on? Oh, this piece of thing here? All right, go quick. Complete the statement below. According to the graph, here, according to the graph, well, let's be telling people about me every day, boy. Every day I get about 3 different messages with students to join classes. Somebody now message me here again. But I don't have no ads bubbling now. Usually when I have an ad that now come out, like if I know about an ad, I will get messages. But like, no, but I feel better a little tell nobody again, boy. Because quantity don't equate to quality. So I'd rather just hold on who I have and make sure these trend pass. I don't mind taking for the lower forms, but I don't want to take no more people from 5, especially from 5 level. Cohen Springer is about 120, 130. Yeah, but I find that it doesn't take too much time, boy. Right, let me go. Complete the statement below. According to the graph, the solution of the system of equations consisting of L and Q is what? Right? This parent messaging, man. Sorry for messaging you. Right. So I'm going to note because I surely don't know what they mean when they say the solution for the system of equations, right? So note. Oh, it's been blue. So the solution the solution for the system of equations is the coordinates of the point of intersection of the two lines. Right? Do we need to solve the equation simultaneously, or can we just look at the graph and see where the two lines cross? Okay, let's look at the graph, right? This question don't need to go and solve a thing, and there's only one mark, right? So all argument, what is 3, 2? Right. So your answer here will be 3, 2. Right? Right, the man have a message about just now. June 2021, number 4. So the diagram below shows two lines, L1 going so, right? And L2 coming this way. The equation of L1 is x plus 2y is equal to 10. And the line L2 passes through the point 0.5. So you see passes through this point 0.5 and is perpendicular to L1. Now last day we did a lot of work on how you get the gradient of a line which is perpendicular to a given line, right? So the first thing we need to establish what the axis is here. Express the equation of the line L1 in this form, right? Now you all see how they wrote the equation of the line? So let's write it how they wrote it, right? Right. So they have it as x plus 2y is equal to 10. So if you want to write it in the form y is equal to mx plus c, right? What's the first thing we had to move here? Let's move the x. When x comes on the side, this will be plus x here. What it becomes? So I'm leaving 2y here, right? I'm putting the negative x first, because I want it in the form mx plus c, right? Now what sign will be understood in front of this 10? So it will be plus 10. Cool? All I good at step 1. Now is y is equal to mx plus c. Y, right? Do I have y alone here? So this 2 needs to go to the right, and it needs to be divided by both the negative x and the 10. Cool? So watch how it's going to be. Y will be equal to, now what number is understood in front of this x, my children? 1. So this is negative 1, right? All right, this a little better. Negative 1. Right, negative 1x. So it'll be negative 1 over 2x plus 10. All you good there? Keegan, you good there?
Yes.
Nia, you good there? Right. What this will ultimately be? Y is equal to negative a half x. What? Plus what? 5. Proper thing. Everybody good here? That is how I write my equation. If they give me it like this, or anyhow they give me it, make y the subject of the formula, and I could write it in the form y is equal to mx plus c. Right, push that? Right, if you have to write. Okay, for part 2, they just ask us the gradient of the same line. What's the gradient of L1? They want the gradient of the line we just found the equation for, which is L1, right? Excellent. So m is equal to negative a half. Or is this writing too small for you, or you all seen it good? Huh?
Evan.
Hey, here you go. I know that's zooming out a little more. Right. So we have the gradient. 1 mark, 1 mark. 2 marks in the bag. Well, let's see how hard it is. But not how hard it is, right? But look how weird CXC is, CXC give 1 mark for all this looking. and they come and give 1 mark, so that's right, one line. Yeah, well, if you bad like that. I know, well, you bad like that. Let me go. Hence, determine the equation of the line L2. So, to determine the equation of the line L2, I must have the gradient of the line, which we don't know, right? And we must have a coordinate on the line L2. And we have a coordinate on the line L2. What's our coordinate on the line L2? 0, -5. That too, you see that? This is a coordinate. It also gives us the y-intercept. We also saw that. What's the y-intercept for L2? It'll be -5. That's where the line cutting through. This is -5 here. This is the coordinate is 0, -5. But the actual y-intercept where the line is cutting through the y-axis is -5. So we have C. We just don't have M. We have C. C is equal to -5, right? We don't have M. So I'm going to write over a note because when I asked it just now, nobody knew. Note. The gradient of a line perpendicular. Right, Tristan. To the the gradient of a line perpendicular to the given line is given by not given by, is the negative inverse. That's all right. That's a little shorter. Is the negative inverse. Is the negative inverse. Okay, so example, right? If the gradient is -1/2, right? So this is the gradient of the original line. Okay, gradient of perpendicular come here, Raj. There we go. Huh? All right, but write down my note, please. Perpendicular line would be with the same m, but just the gradient of the perpendicular line. You flip it, so it becomes -2/1, and then multiplied by -1. So the gradient of a line perpendicular would be perpendicular to the line, which has a gradient of -1/2, would be +2. We did a lot of these last week. That just goes to show how fast we just forget it, guys. So y'all please keep watching the videos over and over, please. Right? So this was actually the example that I used was the actual question that we just did, right? So the original gradient was -1/2. Okay, so you flip -1/2, you get -2/1, and you multiply by -1. Cool? Right? When you work out that, you'll get M is equal to +2. So we have M is equal to +2, C is equal to -5. So Y is equal to MX plus C is the form for the equation of a line. So Y is equal to what? -5. Tell me if all are good here. Well, then do not walk with. I forget on pause. Right.
Y is equal to 7. So that's 0/7.
0/7. All right, nice. Right, let me go. Let's do it one time, yes?
So question. Since that's the equation of the line, did you just make y a substrate and
Yeah.
just keep
But look
C
what
value?
the next part. Yeah. Look what the next part of the question asks us for. You want the gradient of the line, right? So you actually have to make y the subject here, right? So he was saying to just make y the subject, but for 1 mark, we don't need to do that yet, right? If we just plug in the x as 0, okay, we go and plug in x as 0. So watch it. If x is 0, what would be? 0 over plus y over 7 is equal to 1. 0 divided by 3 would be? And 0 plus y over 7 will just be y over 7. You all agree? Y over 7 is equal to what? When I carry 7 here, what do I do to it? 7 multiplied by 1 is? So y is 7. So therefore, my coordinates would be 0, comma 7 is also a y-intercept, right? Everybody good there?
Right. You have to find the gradients.
Right. So to find the gradient of the line, guys, all of this will be on the video. So let's go back. If you're not sure of something, go back, look at the video, right? So what is the gradient of the line? To find the gradient of the line, we need to make y the subject of that equation. Everybody clear there? That too, you clear? Right. So let me write it out. X over 3. All right. Now the original equation. X over 3 plus y over 7 is equal to 1. You want to make y the subject? Let's move this whole bad boy here now.
Y over 7 is equal to 1. Take away x over 3.
All right. Is equal to, I will put the x over 3 first, right? Now you all know x over 3 is like 1 to the x. Because then 1 is understood here. So let's put negative 1 over 3x. So you can see the gradient clearly. Right? So negative 1 over 3x plus 1. Because this is plus 1. Everybody agrees? Right. We need to get rid of the 7. When you carry 7 here, what are you multiplying it by? Everything on that side, right? It actually is going to look like this. 7, y is equal to 7 multiplied by negative 1/3 x plus 1. Which means that you really have to multiply 7 by this and 7 by this. Cool? Everybody good there? So there we go. What is going to be? Y is equal to 7 multiplied by negative 1/3 would be what? Negative 7 over 3x. And 7 multiplied by 1 would be? Let's put a little arrow here. Right, plus 7. Everybody good there? So therefore, dot, 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 what is the gradient of the line? Because that's what the question asks us. Therefore, m is equal to negative 7 over 3. Proper thing. That's what the question did ask, right? Yeah, what is the gradient of the line? Right, 9 marks in the bag. In the bag. Head up January 2025. This is the last question we're doing for the day. Let me mash gas, please. Right, or the last question for the day. Right, my formula for midpoint, capital M, midpoint is represented by capital M, Ronaldo. Capital M is midpoint. What's common M, Ronaldo? Gradient. Remember that, Capital M midpoint, common M gradient. So there we go. X1 plus X2 over 2, comma Y1 plus Y2 over 2. Right? So there we go. I input the little X1 and the little Y1 above here, but what was X1? Negative 5 plus all over, comma Y1 over 2. Right? When we work this down, let's give me the answers. 1, comma, boom. Everybody get that? Everybody good, right? Let's go. Gradient of CD.
That is negative 1/3.
Sorry, now. Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. Write it over 10 times more, please. Gradient of a line, common M. There we go. What's Y2? Minus
6
over.
7 and negative 5.
Let's go. So negative 1/3. Yeah, because it'll be negative 4 over 12, which is negative 1/3. I put 1 over 1, yes. negative 1 over 3, right? That's the gradient of CD, right? The easiest question is the question we doing last. And this come last, this year? I'm all in last year. This was this year. January 2025 was this year. Determine the equation of the perpendicular bisector. You remember the word bisector means? It cuts through the midpoint. So we have a point on the line. What's the midpoint? 1, 4. The perpendicular bisector passes through that point. And if we want the gradient of the perpendicular bisector, we have to flip the original gradient. So it becomes negative 3 over 1 and multiply by? Stick that in all your head somewhere, please. These things come every single year, right? So what would my new gradient be?
Negative 3 over 1.
Negative 3 over 1 multiplied by negative 1.
3.
Positive 3. Right? Just 3. Right? So we go in equation. So this will be x1. This will be y1. Why can't I just write y is equal to mx plus c? Is because I don't have the value of c. I'm going to use the formula to find the form, right? Y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. That too. This is the formula that you're using to find the form. What is the form for the equation of a line? I've been saying it all class. Y is equal to mx plus c. This, when I use this formula, I could work it down to be y is equal to mx plus c. Cool? So there we go. It'll be y. I'm putting it in red here because these are things we forget. So this is formula to find form, right? And I'm going to put the form for equation of a line, right? And that form is y is equal to mx plus c, right? What is m, Ronaldo? Come on, m. And what is c? Y-intercept, where the line cuts the y-axis. Only how much time I seen them thing, right? All right, so there we go. Y minus, that's so nice somebody parent reach. Liam, see who's outside there, somebody parent come there and blown up. Right, y minus what? No, can I just look through right there, right through the window? Yeah. Somebody, yeah, all right, that's all good. Y minus 4 is equal to what is m? 3 open brackets x minus what is x1?
1.
All right, let's go. So you're multiplying this 3 by
X.
and 3 by, right, negative 4 coming here. So y is equal to 3x minus 3, right? And negative 4, when it comes over, it becomes y is equal to 3x. Negative 3 plus 4 would be plus 1, right? Are you seeing books closing? But I still have an next one here now. Right? Another line AB is parallel to CD and passes through the point 0, 1. Write down the equation of the line AB. Now, when two lines are parallel, what does that say about the gradients? If two lines are parallel, they are the
Same.
If two lines running so, if I put so, it will be the same gradient. So, same gradient. Anyhow you put parallel lines, it will be the same gradient. So the gradient here will be what? What was the original gradient? Negative 1/3. Because we're dealing with CD, eh? We're not dealing with the line perpendicular to CD. And then you have a point in the line 0, 1, right? So gradient y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. This will be an x1 here. This will be a y1. That's a point on the line, right? It passes through this point. So it'll be y minus 1 is equal to m, which is negative 1/3, by x minus x1, which is 0. Y would be equal to, we flinging this so, we multiplying this so, multiply this so. So it'll be negative 1/3 x. Negative 1/3 by 0 is 0. And then minus 1 becomes, it's over. Right? I was not. I think I'm I will see you.